So I'm just going to show you how to start your watercolour off. So my first job, because the watercolour is see-through, I'm going to lighten all of this up a little bit. So I'm okay down here, I suppose, because I've got quite a lot of black, but like things like on this chain here is quite pale. So I'm almost going to rub it out so I can just barely see it. Just going to lighten some of the tone on here. So if I want to do any highlight or shine, I won't have an ugly pencil line. Okay, and that's going to give me a nice pale bit to be working with. Don't need to do the hair as much as there are some black squiggles on the hair. Don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to check this is in focus. Sorry about that. Right, I'm going to start with my lightest colours first, which are the colours on this skin tone here. So I'm going to mix that peachy skin tone. So I'm going to take a little bit of this peachy colour. I'm going to mix it in that, and I'm going to add a fair bit of water to it just to check that that's okay. I'm now going to test my colours on my scrap paper, and I'm quite happy with that for that skin tone there. So what I'm going to do now, holding my brush really quite low on the metal part, is I'm going to start to add a little watercolour wash to the face and neck. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to dry it on the blue roll, and I'm going to fade and soften that out. Now I want a darker shade for the cheekbone, and I would say it's probably got a tiny bit of pink in it. So I'm going to take just a smidge of pink and add it there. Again, I'm going to just test that on my paper. It's a bit too dark. Add more water to lighten. Take that. Now I can do a blotting technique with the tissue. Just let me grab one. And just very gently start to blot that away. I'm going to just dry my brush off a bit more, adding that in. That's quite nice that I can see. Is that on camera? That's picking that up. I might just zoom in a little bit more for you so you can see. And then I'm starting to add the pinky colours in there, nice and subtle. Right, I can't do any of the makeup on the image because it's too wet, so I need to let it dry, and I'm probably going to use a little bit of the coloured watercolour pencil crayons on that bit. What I can do is the stripes of blonde in her hair. Right, these are quite loose, so I'm going to hold my brush a bit lower down on the wooden part and just get some nice brush strokes of colour in here. I could even, when this is dried, do some of those black lines on my image with like a pen. A fine liner would be quite nice, following the shapes. Next is the shirt, so I want a nice sort of grey colour with a tiny touch of blue in. So we'll mix the grey up, and again we're going to build it up light to dark.